Alright, it's been a while since I made a proper video that is somewhat analytical, so what is there to talk about?
A few moments later.
Might as well just do a Dio video. Welcome everyone, I am back, and today I'm talking about something that has been memed to death, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Alright, enough memes. Today we talk about the show's most famous villain, in general one of the most well-known anime characters of all time, Dio Brando. Just a quick aside, I haven't read the manga, I watched the anime up to part 4, so if something happens in part 6 or something that involves Dio, I don't know about it. I'm just covering what has been shown in the anime so far. Also, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen JoJo, go and watch it. Please, it's actually a really good show. With that said, let's discuss Dio. Now you've seen the memes. This character has had so many memes. What is behind the meme? Why do people like Dio? Or love to hate him? Or just hate him? Simple. He's a good villain. Why is he a good villain? Well, that requires more explanation. Let's start. Number 1. Dio is a good counter to Jonathan. The often forgotten hero of JoJo is the first one, Jonathan Joestar. Which is understandable when your competition is pretty good and you're in the same part as Dio. But Dio and JoJo have a good dynamic. Basically at the start of the story, Dio is everything Jonathan isn't, despite their upbringings. Dio was raised in his early years in a pretty crappy place. With an asshole father, his house was small, dirty, and just looked terrible in general. Despite that, he has good manners. He holds himself back from being the crap of a guy when he's shoved into his food. He is fast on his feet and a good fighter, despite everything being thrown against him early in life. Now compare that to Jonathan. He had a privileged life growing up, big house, the love and affection of his father, but despite that, Jonathan has problems with his manners, and he's very messy about it, which causes some problems along the way. He also is prone to violence when 2 other kids are harassing Rina, future love interest. He is shown multiple times throughout the first episode not to be the best fighter, getting thrown around by multiple people. Now, that doesn't mean Dio is a better person than Jonathan. Far from it. Dio's got these traits because he needed them to survive, while Jonathan didn't need to develop these traits because he grew up in a safe environment. Sure, Jonathan's dad wanted JoJo to have manners, and he did punish him when he didn't have good manners, but Father Joestar wasn't going to beat up his son because of these things. When Dio meets Jonathan for the first time, he thinks of him as some sort of brat, someone he thinks he can walk over, and Dio, for a while, starts to take over Jonathan's life, taking away attention from his father and socially isolating Jonathan from the rest of his peers. Their dynamic changes when they are adults though. Jonathan and Dio are relatively speaking equal in terms of combat, although Jonathan needs backup when Dio becomes a vampire. Number 2. Dio commands a presence and attention. This is going to be short because you know what I mean. You know the memes, you know what I'm talking about. In part 1 and part 3, he's loud, evil, and he spouts the memes. Plus, he's just a dick. He killed Danny, dog, forced his way with Arena, almost took over Jonathan's life, and beat him to a pulp in boxing, destroying his social life and almost killed him. And this is when he's a kid, mind you. Yeah, you ain't gonna forget this man. Also, he acts larger than life. Just look at this. This is a man who knows he is evil, but he's having the time of his life with it, which I love so much. Well, when he isn't being a dick. Now the final point, number 3, Dio's actions have long-lasting effect on the show. One of the signs of a great villain is that even after they stop being the bad guy, their actions still have an effect on the universe for years to come. Dio's actions in part 1 causes a whole lot of problems in part 2 and part 3. Dio's vampire fun times help create the vampire that killed George Joestar, which causes Lisa, George's wife, to kill that vampire and go into hiding. Thus, Joseph Joestar, the grandchild of Jonathan Joestar, doesn't know his own mother and thinks she is dead. Therefore, JoJo never had a mother or dad, which caused him to develop more eccentric side, if you will.
お前は次になんでメリケンのこと分かったんだこの野郎というなんでメリケンのこと分かったんだこの野郎逃げるんだよサーキー
Plus, he did cause Straight Joe to become a vampire because Straight Joe thought Dio looked cool, which helped set up the gears for JoJo to go save Speedwagon from the Nazis. Got a long story there. In part 3, Dio fundamentally changes how the show operates in terms of villains and combat. Originally, it was vampires and creatures like them. But now, after Dio comes back, he gave a bunch of assholes superpowers, the Stands. He changed the show's fundamental core. Also, he did give the other Joestars stands because he has Jonathan Joestar's body. He also had the Stand Arrow, which had a major impact in part 4 when more assholes gained stand powers, which even caused more problems. Dio's actions have changed the show's history that if he never existed or his actions failed in part 1, this world would look so different that it wouldn't be the same. And that's why Dio is a good villain. He has everything going for him to make a good baddie. He's a great counter to our hero, Jonathan. His presence and him acting like a dick makes him more memorable as well. He is one of the most memorable villains in anime history, and probably all in pop culture, given time as more people are learning about him. Thank you for watching my video. Leave a like on the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.